once called Brangelina have gone through a roller coaster of emotions ever since their divorce became public. The couple, which met while working on Mr. and Mrs. Smith in 2003, became inseparable shortly after and were later seen together on red carpets everywhere as a couple. The world cheered them on as their family grew with every beautiful adoption and the 3 children they had together. That is, until September 2016, when the Hollywood fairy tale took a volatile turn, and then came the divorce. News and entertainment sites everywhere began to run full coverage of every bit of news, and despite an attempt to reconcile in 2017, by 2018 things got heated. Jolie's lawyer filed a legal document claiming Pitt has a statutory duty to pay child support. As of present, Pitt has paid no meaningful child support since separation. However, a close source later told CNN, "It is sad that someone would deliberately misrepresent the situation, especially after Brad has continued to fulfill his commitments." Also news such as how Pitt loaned Jolie $8 million to help her purchase her current home and has contributed over $1.3 million for the benefit of Jolie and the minor children have surfaced along with other reports and claims back and forth. Despite their attempts to keep their emotions aside, it doesn't take much to read between the lines and perceive the bitterness between the 2 stars. Other news have claimed that Jolie revealed to have a video of Brad while he was drunk and driving a golf cart at an airport, while Brad admitted to having entered Alcoholics Anonymous after their split and how much it has helped him. Currently, custody is almost 50-50, though Angelina outwardly regrets to being unable to move her children to Europe permanently because of the agreement she is bound to keep until they are 18. All the while, during his acceptance speech for Best Supporting Actor at the SAG Awards this year, Pitt made a sarcastic joke, which at the end seemed a lot like a connotation to his relationship with his ex.
Let's be honest, it was a difficult part. The guy who gets high, takes his shirt off, and doesn't get on with his wife.
The crowd couldn't hold back their laughter. While backstage, he was caught on camera being friendly with ex Jennifer Aniston, as seen through pictures which splattered all over the internet and even had Hollywood stars buzzing. Although no romantic ties between the two were reported, the internet rumor mill has already run dozens of articles about Angelina's response, and so goes on the Jolie Pitt saga, in which those who suffer the consequences of 2 different homes are their 6 children.
Well, welcome to the Love School. And even for Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, divorce is messy.
Divorce brings a lot of anger, a lot of emotions to both parties. And usually what happens when you're angry, you want to take some revenge at the other one. But when you're somebody who's known by everyone in the world, that gets a lot more, right? I see this whole story with Angelina and Brad kind of bad for her, because at the same time that we only know what happened in their marriage because of what she said about him and how he was addicted and he needed help, and he had, you know, some moments there that he was abusive with his children. We only know about this side of the story. You also know, you kind of sense that Angelina is always trying to expose Brad somehow, as if letting that information out is not enough.
Trying to play him as the villain, perhaps, we don't know.
Yeah, but he takes it well, because at the same time he's been recognizing, yes, I needed help, I had
a drinking problem, I went to rehab for a while. And yes, he seemed to be trying to own up to his mistakes. But what comes to my mind, Cristiane, is that, you see, couples have this idea, this false idea, that when they get a divorce, that will be it. You know, they will finally separate and things will be over. The problems they had in their marriage will be over. But it's not what happens. They only
It's dragging
change.
on.
They exchange the marriage problems for the divorce problems. For example, Angelina wants to move to Europe, but she can't because she had an agreement signed
and I
with
keep
Brad,
thinking
etc.
about the children.
That's the worst. They have
Yeah.
nothing to do with the situation, and yet they are caught up in that. And whose side they pick, you know, it's very, very tough. But as you said, sometimes it happens with couples that after a divorce, one who is usually very angry or who feels he's been the most wronged part wants to pay back, wants to make the other one look really bad. And this can play badly for the children and publicly, and the usual spats, the usual pointy words that go in the direction of the ex, make the situation really unbearable. And one is always trying to defend himself and trying to look good, but it's very hard for to keep the relationship, if there is any left, going when one is always trying to defend his side and attack the other.
Yeah, and also you're losing opportunities here because, you know, when you're attacking your spouse, your ex, you're also burning the bridge. If that person changes, and if you want to be together one day, that's not going to happen because you're hurting that person. You're revenging. You're trying to make him look bad. And people do this a lot today in social networks,
Yeah.
right? People go there.
That's the stage.
And they just leave a big text about, you know, indirect messages to their ex. And so later you see them together and you're like, what is going on? So really, nobody's cheering for Angelina and Brad Pitt together anymore because of everything that happened between them two. If they were quiet about, if she was quiet about it, if she was, you know, let's separate and, you know, get some help, you need help, but not going and putting everything in the light and exposing him like that. Maybe today they could be together.
For us, the lesson that is left is this: divorce is really messy. It pays off much more if you work on your marriage and try to solve the problems in your relationship than quickly think, well, there's no more solution or way out for this relationship. Let's just get a divorce. Later on, you will just have other types of problems, if not bigger and worse problems than the ones you're now having in your marriage. You're not saying that sometimes that's the only option. Yes, sometimes it is the only option, but don't be deceived by the illusion that divorce will solve all your problems and you will be free from the marriage problems that you now have. Angelina and Brad are there to confirm this lesson, right?
And now, Renato, let's answer the question of this single lady. She's dating this guy and she's having a bit of a problem with his eyes.
Let's see.
Let's see.
What should I do? I've been dating a guy for 9 months. I've caught him looking at other women lots of times, and he doesn't even try to hide it. I spoke to him about it, and he promised to change. But he did it again today, and when I confronted him, he just laughed and said that there's no problem with just looking. I don't know if I should stay with him or not. I feel really insecure about this relationship.
Well, if you feel insecure about this relationship, that's already a big sign that there's something wrong, okay? Let aside now the problem of him looking at other women. You are feeling insecure. That's the main issue here. You're feeling insecure either because these insecurities were already in you before you entered this relationship, or compounded by what he's doing, or both, okay? So, Cristiane, when the person has some kind of jealousy or insecurity in a relationship, this usually comes from either some past experience that she had where she may have been cheated on or been with someone who was very flirtatious with other women, etc. And she feels a little bit scared that this might happen again in this relationship, so she projects the past relationship on the current one. Or there was nothing in the past, but really, maybe her boyfriend is just a bit of a girl's man.
Yeah, I think, Renato, that her main problem is his attitude. Because, you know, if the only problem in your relationship is him looking at other women, he could easily go, all right, you know, I'll stop. yeah, I should stop because I'm dating you now. I have my own girlfriend. I don't need to look at others. But he's not doing that. He keeps doing it, and he's insisting, and it probably thinks that with time she's just gonna, you know, understand that he's like that, and she needs to just be okay with it. But no woman is okay with that. I mean, I know that nowadays, you know, women, they dress to call male attention. We know that. We all know that, okay? Even though they're saying they're, oh, you know, it's my body, I do whatever I want. In fact, you know, the truth is they want to call male attention. But when your husband or your boyfriend gives them that attention, it hurts you because it's exactly what they want. These women, they want the boyfriend, the husband to look at them and desire them. So, of course, the woman next to him is going to feel insecure. Of course, that she's going to think, you know, he's being disrespectful. As Jesus said, you know, if you look with desire, you're already committing adultery.
If you look with desire.
The woman knows that.
And the woman has to make a distinction between looking with desire and noticing, right? It's impossible. If a beautiful woman walks in here right now, I think Cristiano will notice her before me.
I will notice her before him, but
and then I will notice her.
You know, but that's the thing. She knows. She probably knows that he doesn't just notice because he, you know, it's bringing her insecurity, and that's the problem. Everybody notices, but you don't keep looking. You can't control how other women are going to dress. You can't control male nature. That, yes, male and female nature that will. Be, you know, your attention will be caught. You're attracted to beauty, right? Yes, we are all attracted to beauty, etc. But you have to make the distinction between noticing and looking on, gazing upon, right? Ogling that woman. Yes, if he's disrespectful to that level, and worse, he's dismissive of your concerns, now, because you say it makes you feel insecure, and he's dismissive about that, that is a big red flag, okay? You need to just call it off because maybe he's not marriage material. That's what you need to think about. I go back to the initial point I made. Insecurity in a relationship, especially when you're dating someone, insecurity is it's a major issue. You don't want to be with someone who makes you feel insecure from any behavior for any reason. All right? Relationships need security. You need confidence to be with this person. After all, you put your life in the hands of this person. The thing is, you need to trust. Exactly. And the relationship without trust is no relationship. And if you keep thinking that he's comparing you, that he's looking at other women and desiring other women, you should leave this relationship. Yes, you should. And, you know, you're not married. You're dating him. Imagine if you get married to him like this. So don't think that he's going to change later on. You already know a lot of the problems in a marriage, you already get to know in the dating time. People don't often think about that. Yeah, right? If they change from dating to marriage, it's for the worse. It's for the worse. So you cannot think, oh, later this person is going to change. If he's like that now, he's going to be worse later. So, yeah, you should ditch him. Well, send us your questions via Instagram at The Love School USA, and we'll answer them here on the program. It's now time for our Love Lab. Uh-oh. Erica is 38 and Jeffrey 42. They've been married for 15 years and have 2 daughters, 14 and 19. And they are having some problems. Let us watch them and see if we can help them.
You are, I noticed that you don't like to plan things a lot. So like if you want to do something with me, you'll just think of it like the same day, a couple of minutes before. You won't take time out to really plan like what we want to do together. So let's say like we're gonna go out tonight, or if it's a special holiday or something, you don't like to plan things out. And sometimes I feel like we need to. Okay, Erica. Here's some nice information for you. This happens to us. Yes, he's not the planning kind. I am the planning kind.
And in the beginning of our marriage, we had problems because of, this exact complaint here. Because, we would reach that day that he could stay home with me. And I would go, where are we going?
What are we going to do today? Yeah,
And
I would
nothing.
throw the question back to her. This is very, very much connected to the personality types, and it seems that Jeffrey is the personality type that says, well, I don't like to plan very much ahead, or I'm not very well at planning family outings, something for us to do. Sometimes we are just handicapped in that department.
Yeah, and how I dealt with this, I just learned to live with this because I love him more than his lack of planning. And I think couples, they need to choose sometimes flaws. Sometimes there are flaws that they're not going to change much of their relationship, and you can live with them. But there are flaws that are very hurtful that can diminish the relationship. So you have to choose, and you're beginning here with, I think this is not the flaw that you should point out. I think you should just respect that he's different than you.
Yes, and this difference sometimes involves you understanding that different people are good at different things, okay? And it doesn't seem to be very good at planning, at least activities for you guys to do.
So you do it.
Exactly. If you're good at it, you take the lead, all right?
Recently, things that could use some change are you taking care of your health. So following up with the doctor more, going to more appointments, making sure that you're okay with your health, because if you get sick, it'll affect both of us if you get sick, because I don't want to see you sick, and the kids don't want to see you sick, and so it won't be good for you, to just not go to your appointments and stuff like that. And that I always complain to you about you spending more time with me. Of course, that's always on my list of things. I would like to spend more time with you. Sometimes just having a conversation with you about things that we need to take care of in the house, and just having more responsibility with the things that we have to do for us and for the children. And so I think that those things are things that you will be able to work on.
There's certain things that I do agree upon, as in, planning stuff. I don't actually plan enough. And I don't know what's the reason of that. Sometimes I feel like I just don't have the right solutions, where to take you to, where to, where to go and stuff like that. So it's actually sometimes hard for me to plan things. But yeah, we definitely do need to work on certain things, like my health. I do need to take care of my health, and stuff like that. So I agree upon, the things that you're saying that I need to work on.
So far, very good for Jeffrey
Yes,
to have
and
shown that he understands, right, what
he
Erica's
listened to her,
complaints
right?
are. And also, Jeffrey, like you said, like we were saying before, you showed some difficulty there that you have on planning things for you to do together. One other issue here with this problem is that Jeffrey seemed to indicate there that he doesn't seem to be very confident about his choices pleasing her. And that's one problem that I had.
Yes, yes.
Because sometimes the place that I think of, I want to go to this place or I want to go to that place, is quickly shut down. No, I wouldn't like to go to that place. What a horrible idea. And men don't like to fail. Nobody likes to fail, but especially men don't like to fail. And if you know you're gonna play a game that you are definitely going to lose, you don't want to play that game.
The thing is, women tend to think that men think like women. And women, we normally know what our husbands like. We know what they like. And when we ask them to know what we like, we get this attitude. And we are like, why? I know what you like.
You should know what I like.
You should know. But the thing is, men and women are very different. They have very different skills. They have different good points and weak points. Both of them they have differences, and our main advantages, yes, is that we are very sensitive to other people's needs. We are very sensitive. We look at details.
And
you know?
we are very insensitive.
No. That's not what I'm saying.
No,
I'm saying
it's
you
true.
look at things
But it's
more
true.
in a general way.
Compared to you, men are much more insensitive to other people's needs.
If you look
speaking.
with evil eyes, you're gonna think he's insensitive. But I see it as the men look at it like the whole thing. You know, the whole problem. He doesn't look at the details. That's why he looks insensitive, but not. He needs to focus on everything. And women, sometimes they lose themselves with the details, and they don't see the whole picture.
Yeah.
So, you know, good point. It's good, but it's bad sometimes.
Another point here that it's very male related is the issue of going to the doctor, right? Jeffrey is tough on keeping his appointments.
This is so typical.
Because men have this Superman complex. We think that we are never going to get sick. If we do get sick, we don't need a doctor. If we are forced to go to the doctor and he tells us to take a medicine, we don't need the medicine. So it's always like that. And it's tough. Jeffrey, you need to really, take it down a notch and realize you're not Superman. We all need to go to the doctor from time to time, especially if it's preventive. You need to take care of your health, because you see that this worries Erica and your family. So just do that. And Erica can help by making the appointment, trying to keep it on a day and time that is not problematic for him.
And reminding him.
And,
right.
Trying to inch him forward. That's what Erica should do. But Jeffrey, you need to step up and do that. It's important for you especially, but also for your wife.
As for you, actually, the things that I see wrong sometimes is like, sometimes maybe like the insecurity. Like sometimes you feel like, I guess I'm some type of stud that, just picks up girls randomly and stuff like that. So sometimes you think that when I'm doing something else or I don't respond to you quick enough, you feel like I'm actually doing something behind your back, or,
Yeah.
So I come home and you start nagging, and what time you coming home and what everything has to be scheduled with you.
Yeah.
And, sometimes, I understand because we're married, but there's times that I do need to, relax. I need I work, and I need sometimes to actually get to work, and with you nagging me and,
Yeah.
it puts a little toll on me sometimes. So sometimes I feel like I'm, get a little mind boggled by certain things like that.
I agree with you.
Right. Good.
Yeah.
I think Erica does have a control problem, right? She does come across as
it's a very,
wanting to control.
It's one of our differences.
Advantages
women.
and disadvantages.
Yeah. But the thing is that could help Erica is the attention that she complained about, that she would like to have more attention from Jeffrey. And I identify with the problem because I used to be very insecure as well in our marriage. And my husband didn't do anything wrong. He wasn't, a stud. He wasn't picking up girls. But I felt insecure because deep down, I didn't get the attention that he owed me. And of course, that the person who has insecurity issues, she needs to learn, she needs to overcome these insecurity issues. But there are things about their relationship that helps the insecurity, that promotes the insecurity. And the lack of attention, the lack of conversation, of being interested in talking to the person, talking to her, or finding out what you need, how can I help you, the lack of this intimacy just promotes even more the insecurity.
Jeffrey needs to behave in a way that passes on confidence and security to Erica, but Erica needs to understand that she can be suffocating sometimes. You can be suffocating, to be accusing him or implying that he is picking up girls or flirting with girls or up to no good. You need to be careful because this can be very stressful, to be accused of something you're not doing. So just be careful that you're not allowing those little monsters in your head to speak up too loudly, and then you just find yourself repeating those voices to your husband.
A simple thing that Jeffrey could do that would help her with this insecurity would be to just let her know, you know, I'm going to arrive 20 minutes late, or today I'm going to go that place. So just so you know, be a little bit more transparent, even though you're not doing anything wrong. And it's not wrong to go after work at some place or be late. It's not wrong. But because she has this difficulty already, you want to eliminate the gaps, you know, that she picks on to feel even more insecure.
And scheduling some us time, right? Just us time. You need to schedule that so you can have your time as well, Jeffrey. Okay, I've done my part for my family, for my wife. Now I'm going to have some me time, all right?
I see you spending more time with your friends or your family or social media, so I feel sometimes kind of left out. And sometimes I just come home from work and I'm tired and I just want to like go home and have you greet me, and I want to have like a conversation with you, as opposed to you playing video games or like being on social media, like, so. And then like also with your work schedule, sometimes it's hard for me because you work overnight. So you're not there with me at night, and then in the daytime is when you're sleeping. So our schedules are not like the normal schedule of two people that are together at night, and then in the daytime they're doing their thing. Like in the daytime I'm working, and then at night you're working.
Yes.
So my problem is I just miss you so much. That's the problem.
Yeah, I agree with you, yes, you know, but that's part of life. That's part of life. We have to work. We have to actually, you know, pay the bills. We have to take care of each other. So that's where, you know, I guess that kind of bothers, because sometimes actually, you know, I take half an hour maybe and I jump on a video game or something, or maybe, you know,
do you feel like you spend a lot of time with your friends and doing stuff?
Feel like I spend it because I don't actually go out anymore. So, you know, I'm basically most of my time is working, because I work at night, which I do the graveyard shift, and then I come home, which I sleep basically most of the daytime. So I really don't get to see my friends as much as you probably analyzing, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, like we try to spend, like, I try to take certain days and give those full days to you, you know? Which, you know, I be home more on the weekdays, and on the weekends, you know, I have certain days that I just spend with you, you know, which certain days I actually hang out with my children, you know. So, you know, I just try to boundary it out, you know.
I guess it kind of just, I feel lonely sometimes, so I'm always missing you sometimes, and I'm wondering, like, you know, like, if I wish that it could be the other way around. Like, you could sleep in the house at night and then work throughout the day. Some of the other things that sometimes I think about in the relationship are like, not only with you but with both of us, like just like trusting each other more, I guess, and working together, like to solve more problems instead of leaving the decision to me or leaving the decision to you, and just. You know, so I think that's something that kind of bothers me as well right now.
We'll definitely have to work on certain things, you know, and hopefully we can definitely get through these things, you know, but at the same time, it just takes time, you know. It takes time, and, you know, with love and care, we'll, you know, actually, you know, get through this, right?
Yeah, it's not just time, Jeffrey. You need to do things differently here. It seems to me that Erica's main complaint here is that she is missing her husband. She wants more time together. She wants more participation from Jeffrey in the decisions that they have to make. And she just wants to see him more involved, more turned to her than to work and to himself, to his friends, and to his video games.
Yeah, and the thing is, Jeffrey, since you're not sleeping together at night, right? You're working at night and she's working during the day. You have a lot of, you know, time away from each other. which is not normal for most couples, right? And most couples, they work during the day, at night they're together. You're not. So you need to compensate this. You need to compensate, and you can't keep thinking that she's just gonna have to get used to this. Just get used to this, because this is life. Like you said, this is life, this is how we're gonna pay our bills. You need to compensate. Like, since you're not there for her at nights, you know, when you're with her, you need to be with her. So you're going to have to sacrifice those moments that you want to relax, play the video game, or be in the social networks, or be with your friends. You need to take those moments when you're not with her. When she's away working, then you play your video game. But when you're with her, when she's at home with you, you know, you need to be more involved with your marriage, because this is hurting her. This is why she feels so insecure about you. This is why, because she doesn't feel that you miss her. She feels like you're okay with this. She's not okay, she misses him. But it feels like he doesn't miss her. It feels like he's okay with it.
She doesn't feel prioritized. She feels you're prioritizing yourself and other things, and she's being left to the side. So, of course, Erica, we all need, both men and women need some me time. You need your time to go to the hair salon, you know, take care of your body, your clothes, your house, etc. And men also like to have that me time a little bit. But it's about you both scheduling this in order to not steal time away from each other. All right? So, Jeffrey, you talk about this. It's not time that will solve this problem. It's you agreeing on what will be done differently from now on about these issues. But overall, congratulations for both of you listening and being very willing to work on these issues.
Yeah. And we've come to the end of the Love School USA today, but we'll be back next week at the same time.
With more lessons for you on how to love intelligently. Till then, bye-bye. Pamela Anderson was married in her latest marriage for 12 days.
12 days. Why? Why do people do this?
So we have lots of tools here. We're going to pick one and show you. Let's see which one we're going to talk about. All right.
No marriage. No marriage. I don't know one marriage that hasn't lasted this long with no problem at all.
Yeah, but I fight a lot for my marriage because I have a divorce and I don't want to.